Welcome to Kundalini this morning. Let's go ahead and start with building these angel wings by lifting up the shoulders, lifting up the elbows, lifting up the wrists, and dropping that down. Deep breath in as we come up. Lift up out of that rib cage and pull those arms down. Hear that breath come up through that tummy and release. Keep this motion going. Let's do 2 more of these movements. Now from here, let's reach into the universe position, the key of the universe symbol. And what we're going to do is lower the head and stretch the back of the neck down to the ground. And we're going to look all the way back up to the roof and drop back into the neck. Dropping the head all the way forward, push that neck down and breathe out. Deep breath in, coming up. And down. And up. And down. Let's just work on this motion for a few. Good, a couple more of these. Grand Rising, Kelsey.
Good morning, Elise. How are you?
Grand, thank you. How are you?
Pretty good. Just waking up a few hours ago.
Nice. All right, from here, let's go ahead and push the ear over to the left and then to the right. Keeping the arms completely still, we're just moving the neck now to the left and to the right. Pushing the neck on a different axis and really feeling that in the back of that occipital, which is the back of the base of the neck that connects to the head. Good, now from here, let's go ahead and go forward and back. Forward and back. Just feel that motion, pushing that neck forward and back. This is a thyroid exercise, so if anybody ever has a problem with the thyroid, go ahead and show them this motion, and it should be able to help unblock that. Also, because this is the year of the throat, we really want to work out the throat chakra. So this is definitely going to be exercise for that energetic motion in the throat chakra. Now let's go ahead and put this motion together by going forward, side, back, side. Forward, side, back, side. Good. Let's just work on this motion for a few. So we have that down. The neck is nice and broken up. Make sure we're getting nice deep breaths in through the nose. That oxygen is going to really help break all this stuff up. Good. Now when we're comfortable doing this motion, we're going to soften it by sliding the neck around now into a circle, just in the neck. Getting nice deep breaths, pushing the oxygen to areas that are gunked up, helping that release. Good job on this side. Now let's slow that down and go the opposite way now. Just rolling that neck into a circle. And it looks like we all have these motions down, so we just keep working on this. Try to make it a goal to where your ear can come and touch the arm, bringing it all the way around. That way you feel the best motion of that neck. Good job. All right, now from here, let's go ahead and rotate these wrists nice and soft, gently rolling them down, dropping them down the body, below the root chakra, and come all the way back up. Nice deep breaths, and roll. Let's keep this motion going for a few, just unwinding all that stuff that we just broke up. This is going to clean our blood and drain all those bad toxins that we just unrolled out of our lymph nodes underneath the armpits. That's why it's so important to hold the key of the universe position while we do those exercises. And then gently unwind. The blood is filled with water, the water vortexes. So when we vortex, this is how we clean the body. Let's do 2 more of these motions. Good job. Now from here, let's go ahead and put the hands on the hips. And we're gonna stretch the elbows all the way back. Pushing those shoulder blades back. Pushing those shoulder blades all the way back. Really feeling those shoulder blades try and touch. Deep breath in. And breathe out, coming forward. Trying to push those elbows now together. Keeping the hands right on the hips at the same place. Deep breath in, coming back. And release. Deep breath in. And out. And in. Let's do a few more of these, really pushing those shoulder blades, trying to touch those, squeeze. And out. And last time, deep breath in. And out. Oh yeah, I got that crack. All right, now shoulders we're going to elevate now. So we're taking one shoulder, pushing it up, and the other shoulder pushing it down. So just one shoulder up, one shoulder down. Really stretching up out of that rib cage, getting nice deep breaths. Good job. Now from here, we're gonna put this motion together by lifting the chest, lifting the shoulder. dropping the chest, lifting the shoulder. Lift the chest, lift that shoulder, drop the chest, lift the shoulder. Lift the chest, shoulder, drop the chest, lift the shoulder. Lift the chest, lift the shoulder, drop the chest, lift the shoulder. Let's just work on this motion just for a few so we can get this down. Good job. And those that have this down, let's go ahead and soften it now by rotating the chest into a circle. Just pushing the shoulder blades up and around. Should be feeling this in the shoulder blades, in the side of the point that connects to the arm, and really in the clavicle, that bone below the throat. Make sure we're getting nice deep breaths. Remember, Kundalini is 1/3 oxygen, so we want to get nice deep oxygen into all these areas we're vortexing. Really break them up. Now let's slow this down, and now let's go into the opposite direction. And for those that can't just go right into it, we're going to lift the chest, lift the shoulder, drop the chest, lift the shoulder. Chest, shoulder, drop, shoulder. Lift, side, drop, side. Lift, side, drop, side. Good job. And once you get this motion down, you can soften it and roll it. This exercise right here is going to help those that are singers and those that are runners that want to get really good vibrations in their diaphragm. This unwinding motion is going to really help build that muscle up in there. Good job, ladies. All right, let's go ahead now and let's work on our snake arms. So we're going to start by lifting up a shoulder, lifting up an elbow, lifting up a wrist, flicking it and dropping it down. Other side, shoulder goes up, elbow, wrist, flick and drop. Shoulder, elbow, wrist, flick, release. And shoulder, elbow, wrist, flick, release. Now as one shoulder, elbow, wrist comes up and it starts to come down, the other shoulder, elbow, wrist starts to come up. So just remember, on every time, on every side, we're just doing the shoulder, elbow, wrist. Now let's get these snake arms really big, stretching every time. You want to really be stretching your arms up out of the sockets so you can feel the rib cage lift, the arms lift, and get the space that we need, that we're looking for. This is also a balancing exercise. So if we ever have problems with our balance, we can just stand here and do this, and it will help shift the liquids in our equilibrium. Now when we're ready, let's go ahead and take some small steps going forward. And when we can't go forward anymore, we're going to go short and fast as we walk back. Now we're going to do this for 3 minutes every day, girls, so we can pump those arms up and get really cut arms. So we're about a half a minute in. Let's just stand here and build. Now let's slow this down and go into big snake arms. At any point in this exercise, if your arms start to hurt, Get out of the hurt and into the breath. We breathe really hard by going. That'll actually help get the oxygen into those areas. Now, when ready, let's take some small steps going forward with this. Really stretching that body out as we come forward. And when we can't go forward anymore, let's go back and fast. Keep that going. Now let's slow this down for the last time. Those arms nice and long. And when we're ready, let's go ahead and take some nice steps forward with this. And last time, short and fast. Short and fast. Get out of the hurt and into the breath. Let's do this for about 20 more seconds. 10 more, keep it pushing, girls. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Good job. All right, let's go ahead and let those arms go completely limp now. And we're just gonna swing them back and forth now, tapping the belly. All right, now let's go ahead and grab some water after that. All right, now from here, we're gonna go ahead and work on the hips. So let's go ahead and let's start with some small hip circles. Just nice little rotations in the hips.
I know.
All right, now from here, we're gonna go to center hip circles. So we're just pushing the hips out and around now. Pushing the butt out, the pelvic forward. Hi, Cami. And from here, let's go ahead and go into bigger hip circles now. So pelvic goes forward, hip goes out, butt goes down and around. Let's really get down and push that around.
That's good.
Make sure we're getting nice deep breaths in while we do this and get that oxygen into that lower back. Good job. Now let's go back up to center hip circles. And now back to little hip circles. And now we're gonna go the opposite direction. So switch that circle around. Now let's take these little circles to medium circles. So push that hip out, push that butt out, pelvic out, and around.
There's shit on the screen. Good,
And now let's get into big hip circles by pushing that butt all the way around. Pelvic out, hips out, butt around. Really leaning back, pushing that pelvic forward, butt all the way down. Should really be breaking up that lower back, loosening up the hips, getting good flexibility in the back of those hamstrings. All right, from here back to center circles. Now let's go ahead and go back into little hip circles. Just circling the hips nice around. Good job. All right, from here we're gonna go ahead and now do figure eights. So how we do that is we take the right hip and we push it forward. Then we diagonally pull it back. Left hip goes forward, diagonally pull it back. Right hip forward, diagonal back. Left hip forward, diagonal back. So we go forward, diagonal slide, forward, slide, and slide, slide. Now, when we have this motion down, we're going to soften it and go into circles. And if we're comfortable, let's go ahead and grab the energy and add it in. So circle and cut. Circle, grab. Circle, grab. And get that energy going through those lungs, breathing in that beautiful oxygen. Now we're going to reverse this figure eight and go outward. So just take those hips and swing them out and around. Out and around. Just outwards now, yes. Beautiful. Follow that energy all the way till you can't turn anymore, and then go forward with it.
Mommy, where's Kilo?
I'm gonna go find her.
Okay, from here, let's go ahead and work on the undulating in the hips. So we're going to lift a hip up, take a step out, drop that hip down, slide that foot in. Lift the hip up, take a step out, drop that hip, slide it in. Hip, step, drop, slide. Up, step, drop, slide. Up, step, drop, slide. Now remember, we really want to work with the hips on this. So get those hips up, push it out, drop it down, pull it in. Want to make these movements nice and crisp so we can see the emphasis on it. Good job. Now when we're comfortable with this, we're going to soften it by doing half crescent moons and pulling it in. Just up, around, down, and slide. Getting nice deep breaths into the sides of those rib cages when we push it out. Getting that extra flexibility. All right, 2 more of these, pushing those hips out. And now let's go to the other side by lifting the hip up, stepping out, dropping down, and sliding. Lift the hip, step out, drop down, and slide. Hip, step, drop, slide. Hip, step, drop, slide. Good, let's work on that motion just for a few so we have it down, so we know when we're doing the softer motions how to actually bend it. Now that we're feeling comfortable with this, let's go ahead and do those half crescent moves and slide. Just make this motion a little bit more soft and breathe. Beautiful. All right, let's do a few more of these. And now let's head back to the other side by inverting it now. By stepping out, lifting the hip, sliding the hip in, dropping it down. So now we're stepping out, lifting the hip, pulling the hip in, dropping it down. So step out, lift up, pull in, drop down. Out, up, in, drop. Out, up, in, drop. All right, now that we're feeling a little bit more comfortable with this, let's go ahead and soften it by going soft circles up and drop. Circle out, up, and drop. Out, up, and drop. Job. Hips up and on. Let's do a few more of these. Up and in. And up and in. Now let's head to the other side by taking a step out, lifting the hip, sliding the hip in, dropping that hip down. So step out, lift up, hip in, drop down. Out, up, in, drop. Now let's soften this by bringing those hips softly around, up and drop now. Circling around, then dropping. Circling up and dropping. Keep working on that hip motion, just circling and dropping. Circling and dropping. All right, now from here, let's go ahead and grab some water. All right. So from here, we're going to do a little bit more of the hips. And what we're going to be doing is moving the hips just forward and back. Hips forward and back. So just in this area, we're just pushing one hip forward and one hip back. Forward and back. Just lifting up out of those hips, pulling them forward and back. Forward and back. Good job. Now, once we have this motion down, this is how it's gonna feel. And we're gonna get the hips moving back and forth now. So we're just taking a nice soft movement in the lower back and shifting those liquids. If anything, we could just stand here the whole time, just like this and doing this, and this is gonna be one of the best motions for your entire body because it is moving the liquids all the way up and down the spine. And in that cerebral fluid, that's really what we need to be connected to. So just a few minutes a day doing this is gonna be an incredible way to connect with that. But when we get it up to speed, we're gonna be doing the best cardiovascular workout that there is for the body. So now that we have this motion down, I want you guys to get it up to speed and shimmy back and forth. Now, we can take the arms and place them underneath the breast. If you feel comfortable bringing them here, we can bring the arms up here, place them up here, all the way out, bringing it up into the key of the universe position, or just barely on the stomach. Wherever the hands go, you want them just to be able to be free and just staying fluid. So we're gonna be doing this for 3 minutes, just like our arm workout, and just keep this fluid. All right, now when we're ready to do this, if we can, we're gonna move forward and back with this. If we're not in position to walk forward and back, just stay in place, keeping this motion fluid. All right, if not, let's start taking little steps forward. And back. And forward. And back. Good job. Now we're gonna take this a little bit into the center, and we're gonna take it now into circles. So now just take steps moving forward to the side and back. Keeping this fluid. Keep that shibby going, girls. We're about 1.5 minutes in. Keep those circles moving. And now let's reverse that circle. Good job, we got about 1 minute left. Keep this pumping. And stand in place and just get that motion. Should be all you got. Got 1/2 minute left. Give it all you got, girls. Really breathe. Shibby. Like we're running in place. But push those hips back and forth. Woo! Good job. 10 more seconds. Push it hard. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Good job, girls. Grab water after that. Woo! All right. Now from the stretch from that, we're gonna lift all the way up, lean back, and come all the way forward, all the way down. And deep breath up. And down. Release everything here, drop out of that neck. Let those arms go, breathe all the way out. Deep breath in, coming up. And all the way down, coming out. Let's do a few more of these. And down. Last time. And down. All right, from here, let's jump back into the shoulders. So what we're gonna do is with the shoulders, just take one shoulder, go forward, and one shoulder, go back. Shoulders are forward, and shoulders are back. This is a good stretch out, up, and off that clavicle bone. Now back and forth a little faster. And when you're ready for this, let's shimmy. It's just shifting those shoulders back and forth. Now let's go forward with the shibby and back. Forward and back. Shoulders and back. Shoulders and back. Good job. Now let's go to the side and center. To the other side and center. One side and center. To the other side and center. Good. Now just stay in place, shibby. Good job. Okay, from here I'm going to show you girls the Phoenix arms. So arms go all the way out. We are now going elbows, shoulders, elbows, wrist, drop. So elbows, shoulders, elbows, wrist, drop. Elbows, shoulders, elbows, wrist, drop. Elbow, shoulder, elbow, wrist, drop. Elbow, shoulder, elbow, wrist, drop. So together. Elbow, shoulder, elbow, wrist, drop. Elbow, shoulder, elbow, wrist, drop. Now one side. Together. Couple more of these. I just want you girls to know this is the year of the Phoenix, so we definitely want to work on those arms. Okay, let's drop now, get down into the knees. We're going to get in the knees now and circle the knees around. Get those nice big breaths in while we do this. Push that oxygen down to those knees. And now let's slow that down, and now let's go to the opposite way. Good job. All right, from here, let's take a nice step out with these knees. And now just one of the knees, we're going to rotate around into a circle. Now let's take that circle and go inward with it. Good job on that leg. Let's go ahead now and shift it to the other side, and this knee is going to go out with it, so out. Now let's take that knee and go in with it. Good job. Now let's walk these feet in together and last time together with the knees. And now let's slow that down and go to the opposite way with this. All right, now from here, let's go ahead and move into the ankle. So the foot's gonna go down on the ground. We're just pressing down into the foot, stretching that foot out. And now let's lean up off that foot and we're gonna rotate that ankle into a circle. And now let's rotate that ankle inward now. Still getting nice, good, energetic breaths in while we do this. Good job. Now let's switch to the other foot, goes forward. Let's go up on those toes and press down onto those toes, stretching that foot out, really feeling that stretch. All right, let's lean off that foot now and let's rotate that ankle into a circle. And now let's slow that down and go the opposite way now with the ankle. Good job. Now from here, let's just take some nice deep breaths in. And drop that down. And up. Down. And from here, let's take some deep breaths in. Let's reach up to the universe, pulling that heart chakra down with all that wonderful energy. And let's bring it all the way back up. And all the way down, grabbing that earth energy and now pulling it up into the heart chakra. Let's keep this rotation going for a few. Let's do 2 more of these. Now from here, let's reach our goddess energy out and spread it. And lean back and give ourselves a nice hug, loving ourselves, unwinding that and gifting it to the world. Now from here, let's go ahead and just unwind the neck, just doing nice soft rolls in the neck. And now opposite way. Good, now let's wind the shoulders and the chest. And now let's wind those hips. And now the knees. Opposite way. Hips. Chest. Neck. Opposite way the neck. Nice deep breath. Thank you for joining Kundalini Goddesses. Remember, when we awaken the goddess inside, magical things happen. So make sure to shimmy! Woo! Thank you so much, ladies. I will see you next time. Enjoy your grand